A lot of relaxation. No, we went through a lot of life changes in the meantime, so a lot of moving around. One of my bandmates had a daughter, so that's substantial. So we had kind of consciously decided after doing that record, because we'd spent the past 7-8 years touring pretty consistently, that we would take a step back and focus on our personal lives and recalibrate a bit. So yeah, a lot of not being creative, really, to be truthful. A lot of like just enjoying family and going through some life changes. I moved across the country, so yeah. I don't really know how to sing, for one, so when we started making music, I just kind of walked up to the microphone and started speaking, and that was like the beginning of whatever it's turned to now. But I do think pretty recently I've actually felt comfortable calling myself a musician, and I think that comes through on this record more than records in the past. There's a bigger degree of musicality to the spoken parts even. But here, the thing about writing vocal parts without a melody is you have to come up with new ways to make parts interesting and engaging for people, because if the part repeats for 12 bars and I say the same thing every time, people are going to lose interest pretty quickly. So you have to figure out ways to re-engage people from part to part, whether it's changing the pattern or adding a note here or there, or building the emotional intensity to really make a part reach a climax effectively on every level, not just musically from the instruments. We wrote for 2 months and decided that none of us felt content about our output. And at that point, we hadn't made music for 3 years. So there was an underlying degree of anxiety where you're starting to wonder after 2 months and failing the entire time whether or not you're capable of doing it anymore. So we started over, and it started with the beginning of Fulton Street, the first part. And it was very organic and instinctual, and everything that we'd written to that point was very like hyper analytical, and we decided that wasn't working, so we tried to just like do what felt very natural and feel it out as we went along. And we wrote those 2 songs in like two days after 2 months of striking out. We like finally succeeded, and it was super exciting. And that was when the whole process changed, and that's when the record became what it became. Rhodonite is a stone, like a mineral or a crystal. And some people think that crystals have healing properties. And that was one that I picked. I was sort of looking for something to represent symbolically the external sources you seek for comfort in the face of grief or loss. And I settled on, for whatever reason, healing crystals. So every time I reference one on the record, it's meant to represent some stage of coping with grief based on the supposed healing properties of the crystals I listed. So yeah, that was one I found. Did a lot of reading about crystals, which was an interesting experience. I'm excited to be touring again. I'm excited for people to hear the record as a whole. I'm excited to hear what people think. I'm excited to figure out how we're gonna play the songs live, because there's a lot going on, and we've got some cool ideas and some people who are gonna play with us. And so looking forward to figuring all of that out. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to see new places, I think. So when we like first started touring, it was like truly anywhere with a stage and a PA, or not even a stage, anywhere with sometimes not even a PA. We played a show one time where we just had a bass cabinet and there was no PA and there was no microphone either. So we plugged a pair of headphones in, and you can, if you plug a 1/4-inch headphones into an amplifier, you can speak into the left headphone channel. So I sang into the left channel of someone's pair of headphones in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Anyway, that was a tangent. But like you have all the time in the world when you're 21 and there's nothing else going on in your life. So you're just trying to go everywhere that you possibly can all the time, which is fucking great. And I still feel that way. And now we've got kids and homes and what have you. So we have to be a little bit more judicious with our time. So this time around, I think we're really trying to like use what time we have to go to the places that we love to go, but also to explore new places and maybe this time get to see more of the cities that we play in. Because the downside of tour is that you see a lot of venue green rooms, and you see a lot of hotels, and you see a lot of highways. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this time around we can do a little bit more sightseeing in some places, and yeah, I'm excited for those things. I could talk for the rest of today about things I'm excited for. It's such a weird thing because things are in some ways so shitty right now for a lot of people. I'm excited to spend my time around those beautiful people and say fuck off to the rest, I guess.